How's it going, guys? I'm back at it again in here for the video for you guys for today, and I'm in here for Superstar Profile. I am not going to number this episode. This is a very special edition of Superstar Profile, and I am looking to have the next episode for Superstar Profile, episode number 10. Maybe around Friday this week. If not, if anything, I'll probably have it up by Monday of next week. And since this is the 5th anniversary since the Chris Benoit tragedy, and I didn't even realize it until not too long ago, and this is a video response to a video from Simon Alkin HD and his video talking about Chris Benoit and breaking his silence, and I'm going to just tell you how I feel about it, and I don't think I'm going to be in here for a whole long video, but just giving my thoughts and how I feel about it, and having this being since the 5th year anniversary, and it's really been crazy that it's been 5 years already, and almost seems like yesterday. I remember it like it was yesterday, finding out the news about it, and I remember going to the movies that day and being nervous about Raw and wanting to watch and to see what was going to happen. And this was the fallout from Night of Champions 2007 with Vengeance, and I know Chris Benoit was supposed to have a matchup with CM Punk, and of course now that's not going to ever happen. I thought that would have been possibly one of the matches of the night, and those two would have put on a fantastic match. But it is what it is, and unfortunately we did not get to see that at all whatsoever. But with that being said, I remember going back home, and it was a cloudy and rainy day, and just tuning into Raw. I think it was like the second hour or something like that, and I thought it was going to be a regular episode of Raw, and this was the only time that I remember WWE showing a lot of Chris Benoit matches, and until then that was the last that we ever seen any matches of him in the WWE, and just seeing the best matches and memories of Chris Benoit and everything. And I know it was a steel cage match. I think it was JBL in there. I don't really remember who he was facing, and I thought this was just a regular episode of Raw, and this was just a regular steel cage match with Chris Benoit, but that wasn't the case until Vince McMahon was there and the arena was empty, and just I guess in the way kind of sort of paying respect to Chris Benoit the wrestler, and just mentioning on how he passed away and everything. And I was really confused on what was going on here, and I didn't even know what to think, and I remember being upset about it and wanting to know what happened, and throughout the week, and it lasted for a good while. That I remember that this was on the news for a good while. I remember watching CNN, and they were actually talking about death and everything. We had Chris Jericho on there, we had Triple H, and good friends of Chris Benoit, and guys that he has wrestled to before in the past, and giving their thoughts on how they felt about him, and what they've known from him, and things like that. And it was just so surreal to me. And then I found out that it was a double murder suicide, as we all know right now, and I would have never thought that would ever happen. And I do like Chris Benoit as a wrestler, but what he did to his family, they had no right to die like that, and no one should ever have the right to die in that any way, shape, or form. And if that didn't happen, and Chris Benoit would have gotten checked out, I'm sure things would have been fine and no one had to die. But unfortunately, that is what happened, and it is what it is. But it's just really sad how that happened, and I don't have respect for that. Of course, I have practically no sympathy for that on how that happened to Chris Benoit and his family, and it would have been better if things got sorted out, but it seemed like it wasn't even going to get sorted out, and it's just sad on how that had to happen. So I just thought I would come in here and just give some thoughts about it, and I'm not going to really go in here for a 30-minute video or an hour video talking about it. And it sucks that we don't get to see matches from him of the past, and we're never going to see another DVD of him except for the rare one that's pretty hard to find right now. If you're lucky enough to find it even in stores, I don't even see it in stores anymore. That's how rare and pretty hard to find that DVD really is. So I am lucky enough to have some good enough matches from when he was around, and I remember his SummerSlam 2004 match with Benoit, and Benoit becoming the youngest whatever champion. Even though we don't get to really see that, it sucks, but also Radio and Cheer as well, on him being world champion for the first time, and we don't even really get to see that, even though that was a great match. But still, it sucks, and he's never going to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't see that happening anyway. even though he did a lot for the wrestling business, like Simon said, and I do have a lot of respect for that. I just don't have respect for the person and what he has done outside the ring, and it just really left a bad taste in my mouth. So some of the favorite matches that I have enjoyed, any other stuff with MVP, Randy Orton, when he was a tag team with Kurt Angle, I thought that was really cool. I would have loved to see that match with CM Punk, like I stated before. I thought that would have been a fantastic match to see, and would have been a nice dream match, but that's not going to ever happen. The triple threat match from Backlash and WrestleMania 20 with Triple H and Shawn Michaels was some of the best back-to-back matches I thought were really great. And that was a fantastic triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship, and he also was in the tag team, I think, for a little bit with Eddie Guerrero, and he came in with Eddie Guerrero too as well. Now with Dean Malenko coming over and jumping ship from WCW, going into the WWF at the time, and looking to make a career for himself in the WWE, and he's had a lot of good to even great matches too in the past. He's been a former world champion, of course. He's been a former WWE Tag Team Champion, World Tag Team Champion. I think he's been the former United States Champion, and he's had a good one with the U.S. Championship before. He's been Intercontinental Champion, and some of his stuff with The Rock too, I thought were good. He's also had matches with Stone Cold too, I believe, were great, and as well with Chris Jericho, and just some of the many matches and some of the people that he's feuded and faced over the years, and he's had a lot of good matches. But it's a shame. If none of that would have ever happened, I'm sure he would have been in the Hall of Fame as of right now and doing a lot better, and things wouldn't have went down like that. But of course they did, and it shouldn't have happened like that. It really shouldn't. And it's a shame on how we don't really get to, like I said, see his matches or anything like that. So that's how I feel about it, and that's just my quick thoughts, if you will, on this 50th anniversary of Chris Benoit and the double murder-suicide event. And it's just really sad stuff, and things like that shouldn't have to happen even for anybody, and it's a shame. So let me know what you guys' thoughts are. Feel free to leave a like on this video. Go follow me on Twitter at DavidRivera1989 for the latest, and as well go check out the Wrestling from Rings account too as well. Everything will be down there in the description box for you guys to check out. And I wasn't expecting to do this video, and I got the idea from Simon, and I thought I would give you my thoughts on how I feel about the whole situation. So there you go. That's how I feel about it, and let me know what you guys' thoughts are as well, like I stated before. And that about does it for this special edition of Superstar Profile, how I feel about the Chris Benoit double murder-suicide thing. And with that being said, that about does it for me. Hopefully you guys still will have a great day and enjoy the rest of the summer. I will have an update on my summer plans coming soon, and as well for In the Hot Seat as well. Stay tuned for that. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys.